What's going on, everybody? It's me, Mike, with Just a Thought, coming to you live from somewhere in Indiana, most likely. It has been a heck of a day. Got the worst massage I've ever had in my life. So bad to the fact that I couldn't really even tell the people that it was bad because I just don't want to be that rude. And it was already paid for. So, yeah, that's how today went. But just a thought with some sports coming to you. We do have the championship week upon us. We will have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. And then we're going to have the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the reason it's taken me a while to say that is because it has been that kind of a day. I am absolutely exhausted with my three kids. Yeah. We could dive deeper into that, or we could just dive deeper into some football and what we saw. Kansas City Chiefs coming out of the Cleveland Browns game. It didn't even look like a challenge, to be honest with you. It kind of looked like the Chiefs were kind of playing some backup plays, kind of just running a normal offense. I was mainly concerned with Patrick Mahomes and his toe. And I know they talked about it in the broadcast that it's like, man, he can't plant, he can't step into those throws. And you could tell, but he was still going. I mean, until he got the quote unquote concussion, Patrick Mahomes was still dealing, and that offense still looked like it was unstoppable. And everyone's like, well, their defense is susceptible. I was like, it's an opportunistic defense. I mean, they look like they're just kind of like, hey, we'll take your jabs and stuff like that, but you're not going to be as deep. You're not going to take it to the house on us. And if you do, it's going to be a sustained drive, which, to be honest with you, that's fine. You still got Patrick Mahomes over there on the other side, and even when you didn't, I tell you what, it was a nice sight seeing Chad Henne come out there, and he stepped to the plate. He went up there, took that 13-yard, 14-yard run, and then had the balls to throw that pass, and it was a beautiful pass to the cheetah out there. So I do think the Browns have a lot to look forward to next year. I think, this is the first year in 3 years with Baker Mayfield that they've been in the postseason. The fact that they got the first win of his postseason career, I think that's a lot to be. There's a lot to be said there with the changing of the guards, with Pittsburgh probably not having Big Ben back, and Baltimore seeing Lamar go out against Buffalo. It was kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, well, Cleveland's going to be in the mix in the future. They're a team to be reckoned with. But then your Buffalo Bills again. I think I heard this on several sports talk radio. They're just hanging in there. They're doing what good teams do, which is not beat themselves. And I mean, that's all you can hope for if you're Buffalo right now. They're not beating themselves like they did against the Texans last year. They beat themselves and they lost that game. And I think Josh Allen has been willing. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have been willing them to the next game. So it's going to be interesting to see. I still think you've got a semi-healthy Patrick Mahomes. You're probably going to win. It's a home game. They've been to the AFC Championship 3 times in a row now. And good luck, Buffalo. Because I remember as a little boy, Joe Montana coming into Buffalo when you guys went 4 times in a row and took Joe Montana out of the game. It was kind of a devastating blow as a child. So good luck. It should be a really good game, and I believe that's the second game of the night, so I'm going to be even more exhausted on Monday. the Tampa Bay Green Bay game. Now, my sister-in-law is a Green Bay fanatic, and also I believe she's what is it? What do they call them? Shareholders. So she owns a part of the team, small part, little share. She owns a share. I don't know how many shares there are, but a share is a share. So, I mean, I could own a square foot of Scotland and be whatever, have like a knighthood or something like that. I don't know. There's some commercial I saw about that, and I was like, oh wow, I could do that, or I could just, no, that's just sorry, random thought for just a thought. Anyway, MVP this year, I have to say, is going to be Aaron Rodgers, and he looked, I mean, he looked so good against the Rams. I mean, just cannot believe how good he looked. I mean, he's remarkable. I think by far right now, you can't say anyone's coming close to him. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, when he's healthy, I would say he's probably number 2 right now of people you want in that quarterback position. And I tell you what, when he ran that touchdown against the Rams, I think that was it their first touchdown? Might have been their second. But I mean, he was just like, this is us. We're gonna win. Like, I don't care how good your defense is, I'm better than you. It was kind of one of those moments. And Tom Brady, he's great. I think Tom Brady beat a very good defensive team in New Orleans. But Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers don't play all the time, and Green Bay got killed in week 6, but that's week 6. COVID protocol, you're still trying to figure out, how you're practicing, who's in, who's out. I don't think they're going to have enough. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to have enough to come out there and really give it to them, but we'll see. I think it's going to be Green Bay, Kansas City, but you never know. I mean, it could also be. It could be Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and in that case, I'm going to have to lean towards Buffalo because that just sounds so terrible, and that's probably a little bit of my bias, but that just sounds like a terrible Super Bowl. Hey, welcome live from Super Bowl 55, and it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus your Buffalo Bills. Wait, who would be the home team? I think it's Buffalo's the home team. Ooh, that's gonna be that's gonna be something. Not to hate on Bills Mafia or the Pirates of the Buccaneers or whatever. I guess you just call them the Buccaneers. But that's just going to be an interesting matchup, and I'm so grateful that football is there to actually watch and see. But I'm picking the Chiefs. Chiefs are going to go, and I think they're gonna show up and show out. I think it's going to be 38-21. I think Buffalo gets in the end zone a couple times, but if Patrick Mahomes upright, I think they're going to come out, show out, and just, give the Chiefs Kingdom what they want. And I found this gem. I don't know if you guys remember this. I think I bought this when this was see, Reebok. This was a long time ago, but I just found this the other day. I could not believe it. It's like mint. Don't know where it's been for however many years. And yes, this is how my hair. This is how my hair goes. It just kind of does. It does its own thing. It's got its own personality going on. But yeah, that was a great find. I can't believe it. I've been wearing it all week this week. But for the Green Bay Tampa Bay, if Aaron Rodgers can't do it through the air, their ground game. They've got 2 running backs that are just studs, and they've got a rookie. I think he's from an Ivy League school that's just killing it, and it's just like Green Bay, Matt LaFleur. I tell you what, that's a match made in heaven. You can't really get any better. I think regular season right now he's 26-6. Yeah, I think you guys have a coach for at least the next decade, and I honestly think you're probably going to have to trade off that first round draft pick you had this year, which I think most Green Bay fans would be like, oh, yeah, please go for it. Aaron Rodgers has at least, I mean, you got to think he sat his first 3 years. So, I mean, just give him back those 3 years because he wasn't getting beat up, he wasn't getting hurt, he's only getting smarter, and just think about this. He's already eating probably pretty healthy, because athletes do. I mean, that's what they get paid to do, right? I mean, he's not out eating burgers and fries every night. You know, he's not trying to bulk up or whatever. I was like, and he's seeing Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady is a California kid, which a lot of people refuse to remember. He's not from the East Coast. He's not from a hardy state. You know, he's from California, and the other thing is he's seeing what Tom Brady's doing and saying, you know what, I can do this, and like I am that good, and I think a lot of that you have to have that kind of cockiness, you know, to be. I mean, it's I wouldn't even. I mean, you could call it cockiness. You could also call it just the fact that Aaron Rodgers doesn't care. He's a professional. This is what he does. Like, it's funny when you have these press conferences. Like, if I had a press conference, because I do lawn care and landscaping, and someone were to come up to me and said, you know what, you know, the performance you had the other day on the yard wasn't amazing. And my response to them is, I've been doing this for 18 years. I want you to do 150 yards a week by yourself for 18 years and tell me if you don't have a bad day or, no, I am that good to where I'm doing it, you know. Sorry, not sorry, right? Isn't that I think that's the phrase. Sorry, not sorry. But something, just the thought that I had the other night. I watched both of the back-to-back games, the Cleveland-Brooklyn Nets games. Now switching to the NBA, two of the back-to-back games. Now I'm a Pacer fan because I was a Bulls fan briefly when I was a little kid because I loved me some BJ Armstrong. I mean, just he was the man for me. You know, I just something about it. Like me and BJ had this thing. Like I love BJ Armstrong. No offense to Michael Jordan because I think he's the greatest of all time. And if you have other thoughts about that, I'm sorry. My thought is Michael Jordan's the greatest. Michael Jordan is the most unstoppable player in the NBA, and he's playing across many different eras and like peaks of different eras. So, but that's neither here nor there. I was watching Cleveland Cavaliers and the Brooklyn Nets, both back-to-back games. First game I watched, I was shocked because, you know, Cleveland has made all these trades for bigs. They've moved a lot of pieces around, but the more and more I thought about it, I was like, look, they're playing inside, outside. You know, when you look at the Warriors dynasty that they briefly had there, they were playing inside, outside. They were utilizing their bigs. You know, they were getting easy buckets, you know, and they were making sure they were getting the boards to get it out to a Steph or a Clay or, you know, Draymond for shots or Iguodala or, you know, Kevin Durant. It was an inside-outside game. And I think a lot of us have forgotten. They're like, well, let's do the big three, the big, you know, or the, you know, you got to have two. You got to have a duo. True. But if you're going to surround that duo like the Rockets did, where everyone is 6'7" and under, you're not getting those boards, but you're getting a lot of shots up. I mean, if you're only using 8 seconds of the shot clock, yeah, you're getting a lot of shots up, but you're not controlling the pace. It's kind of like saying, in football, like, yeah, you could throw it all over the place. I remember Peyton Manning throwing it all over the place. But if you don't have a run game to kill the clock, then you're not going to win the game. Like, I remember a ton of times I was like, oh, we got Peyton Manning on, you know, Peyton Manning's on the bench. You know, he's over there. Like, he only needs a minute, and he'll go down the field and score on you. True, but it would be better. I think Peyton Manning was a lot better when he had that ground game that he could rely on to go out there and say, all right, come on, Edgerrin James, we're gonna run the rock, we're gonna run some of this clock off so the other team doesn't hold the ball the whole time. So, you know, yeah, as a basketball player, having a true big, and having depth at the big to get boards, that's what you need. But I was watching this game, and Cleveland just had that. They had that tenacity, and it was like a we've got the bigs, we've got Colin Sexton, we've got shooters, but we're just gonna out physical you. And guess what? We're going to play team defense. That was something that surprised me both nights, especially the second night. Back-to-back game, same opponent. That's a pretty even fight, and the second game wasn't even close. Now Kevin Durant wasn't out there in the second game. I don't. It's been a week, so I forget if he even played in the first game. To be honest with you, I don't know if he did or not. That's my bad, because when you have 3 kids and stuff goes crazy, people out there that have 3 kids, they know they can barely keep everything going. But man, just the level of tenacity that I saw the other night when they were playing was just remarkable. And Colin Sexton, man, he's gonna do things. He has leveled up every year, and I think if he continues on this trend, he should win. They give awards out for everything now, so I don't even know what award that would be. Like best player, most improved. There it is. Most improved player would probably go to Colin Sexton, because I tell you what, he's dynamic, and he's making that team run. And when you need buckets, he's getting you buckets. When he can dish, he can steal, he can play defense, and he's a physical stud. And that's what you need. In Cleveland, I tell you what, I think you have a better version of Kyrie Irving, because he seems like a guy that he's got that dog. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna win, and he's gonna call you out, and he's gonna go out there and make it happen. And I'm watching some of these games here. They're diving around from game to game, and I just wanted to watch so Brooklyn's playing Miami, and I was kind of tuning into that because I kind of want to see Brooklyn continue to play, because they traded everything. They traded the house away to get Harden, and I don't know. I know D'Antoni and Steve Nash are in that. They're in the same belief. Because Nash played for D'Antoni. Of move the ball around quick, fast, everything like that. But man, it's interesting. This NBA season, even though we're in the height of the NFL, this NBA season, it's already been a little head scratching to see how teams have evolved, who's made trades. I mean, it's crazy. And watching some of these states or cities that don't have any fans, and to me that's a shame. I know COVID is a thing, and you've got to be careful, but common sense plays a lot into this. If you're sick, you bought tickets, don't go to the game. You're sick, stay home. Like, duh. Yeah, did you spend a lot of money for those tickets? Sell the tickets. Get some of the money back. Be smart. Like, it's not worth getting other people sick. That's like common sense rule number 1. Like, which sometimes the world lacks in common sense, but so do I at most times. But I will say, moving forward though, I am excited for the baseball season coming up. I think that could be very interesting. My Royals, let's make some moves. College basketball is another thing that I was going to touch on, because I got called out when I went to IKEA the other day. I was wearing this hoodie. If you can't see, it's Jayhawks, man, right? Wearing my hat. Lady looks at me at IKEA and says, "Are you a real Kansas fan, or do you just like the colors?" What? Like, I'm a real fan. Like, I'm a real fan. Like, how do you call me out? Like, do you just like the colors? Like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of, primary colors in there. It pops off the gray, but just remind me, if you buy a hoodie or a hat, you gotta have some sort of, I like the team, than the just I like the colors. Like, that's kind of a, okay. Like, I don't buy this mower right here that I just bought. I don't just like the color orange or the color red. Like, it's a good mower. That's why I bought it. And I will do a review coming up soon on this mower. It is still January, people, so in Indiana somewhere. So there will be a review coming on this, because Husqvarna, if you're listening or if you ever watch, I said a comment on Instagram a long time ago about I was a little disappointed that I thought your mowers were going to, or kind of sliding down a little bit. I've heard a lot of different people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers on their channels, and catching a lot of flack on this one. This is a 2020, so it's a year old. It is new to me and brand new because it never got used in 2020. But I will do a review on this one. I was going to do a review on the Grandstand last year, but I was so busy last year that it just didn't happen. Like, a lot of stuff was going on. Third child, born in Atlanta, had to go back and forth from Indianapolis to Atlanta, so didn't get to do a review on that. I will do a review on this coming up this year. I think a lot of people are wrong on it. I honestly think it's a really good mower. Husqvarna doesn't need me to tell them that, but sometimes I think a lot of things that lawn care people talk about, it's a lot of complaining. Like, is the equipment good? Does it do a good job? And I'm not just saying do a good job as in like is it, does it lay stripes as good as the other? Okay, well, a lot of that comes to user. And I think we also got to remember when we're taking our advice from people, okay, does their quality of work overcome the equipment that they're using, or does the equipment make the user? Because as my grandpa would say before, everything on this earth is man-made. Like, that's man-made. So there's going to be flaws. I was made by God, but I am flawed. I will tell you that. There are things in my life that I am not good at, and I'm a sinner. I know that. But that shouldn't define what happens. So like even if I bought a terrible mower, I have to overcome that. But I think a lot of people are blaming this for not being good at their job. Because I saw a lot of reviews on this mower, which I don't have the ROPS on it, but this is the MZT 52. This is the best mower you could buy, and people will look at me sideways if I put some photos up of yards that I've mowed with this. This has over 1,000 hours on it. The only thing that's gone wrong with this is it was a design flaw, because they put bolts right under the hinges where the seat mounts, and probably within 100 hours the metal just fatigued and it broke off. But guess what? I went out, I got what did I get? Door hinges. I got door hinges and slapped them on there, and no one's the wiser. And guess what? It still works. 1,000 hours. Oil changes, gas filters. I haven't even changed the spark plugs on this. 1,000 hours. I haven't even done the hydros on this yet, and still cuts tremendously. You can ask all of my clients. That's what I use. It's got headlights on it too. But shifting back to this guy we will be doing a review on this coming later at you, along with everything else I do. I will possibly be posting some videos. And if you see this little guy right here, see this little guy right there? That is actually the seat to my kick wheel that all this stuff's on. I will, when it warms up again, I will start doing some videos with me throwing, because that's actually what my major was in college. It was ceramics, printmaking, and sculpture, and going to get back into that. And I do, obviously, I think at the last show, I do woodworking. So all in all, I do a lot. T-shirt company as well, but do we have enough time in the day for that? Landscape design. What else? I mean, football's almost over, guys. It's guys and gals. It's kind of depressing. But I'm seeing the Brooklyn Nets are hosting a game, so maybe it's a home thing. Maybe they just need to be at home. They're up on the Miami Heat 74-62. But it's very early in the season. I don't, Miami was really banged up last year in the finals, so I don't expect them to come out like gangbusters. So, but they've got potential to be that gritty team, and they've got a lot of good young guys on that team. So I expect them to be near the top, as well as your Indiana Pacers. Indiana Nation, Hoosier Nation. Pacers are I think sitting at number 2 right now. But I tell you what, I felt a little bad that Vic went away, but he had a big contract coming up. But I don't know if the Pacers. I think there was talks that he denied his $25 million extension that they were going to do for, I think it was maybe a year or two. So each year, 25 plus. And guess what, NBA fans? Salary cap's going down. There's no fans in the stands. The owners are not going to stand for that. And guess what? They rushed to 72 games because they need that money. They almost screwed the pooch last year going into the bubble and not having anyone. And you can't say, oh,